Okay guys, so I have a video upcoming. It's gonna be on a team I use for Weather Cup. It's really outdated because I didn't have time. I was on vacation during Weather Cup. But now we have Evolution Cup, and today we'll be testing out Hakamo-O. Hakamo-O is honestly way too underrated in this cup. We're starting this video off with a Dusclops leading into a Shelgon. Shelgon is pretty good in the past few seasons. It got buffed with Twister, and it's actually quite a decent pick. Now, my opponent will safe swap into the Celio because Celio does perform better than Shelgon into a Dusclops. Dusclops does have Ice Punch. That's super effective damage right there. I'm responding with a Doublade here. Doublade, actually a really good Pokemon into a Celio. I no-shield that Body Slam bait, which is absolutely beautiful. And why Doublade is really good into Celio is because we can fire off those super effective Sacred Swords every 4.5 seconds on average, while Celio, to do anything, because Body Slam is triple resisted, has to go for the Surfs, which are extremely slow. Surf, first, second, being 6 seconds, and I think the third one, I'm pretty sure, is 5 seconds. So yeah, a really big pacing disadvantage for Celio. Anyways, back to the game. My opponent catches beautifully onto the Doublade, but I was going for that Shadow Punch anyways. So Shadow Punch connects. I'm able to farm up one more, go for the Shadow Punch, but I will not be able to reach Shadow Punch number 3. So I will switch into my Hakamo-O to prevent that extra Shadow Claw from going in. I'll no-shield this, as no move from Doublade can kill Hakamo-O from this range. I'll go for this Brick Break. Brick Break is only single resisted because it is super effective into the Steel typing part, but double resisted on the Ghost typing part. In comes Shelgon. Shelgon gets farmed down by the double Dragon Tail, and Hakamo-O picks up the win. Okay, an amazing lead in the next match, or you would think, because surprisingly, Dusclops does not as good as you think into Charger Bug. Charger Bug does have that really high fast move pressure with Volt Switches. We are able to fire off Shadow Punches. Shadow Punches does have that pacing advantage against a Charger Bug. I'm pretty confident that Shadow Punches, the first 3 take 4.5 seconds, and the fourth one takes 3 seconds. Okay, so my opponent's Charger Bug is really low now, and they fire off this Discharge. I'm able to tank it, and Dusclops is able to fire off this last-minute Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch connects. Of course, they're going to let it go. They're not that desperate to keep their Charger Bug alive, and even if they keep it alive, it's probably going to be no use into anything in the back. So, this Dusclops, this is going to be a problem. See, my team is extremely weak to Dusclops, which is really bad because this is a really Dusclops dominant meta. But why I chose to still run this team is because Dusclops, I see it a lot in the lead. I don't really see it as much in the safe swap or the closer position. So my own Dusclops can actually win CMP and deal with the opponent's Dusclops pretty easily. Anyways, we have Hakamo-O into Dusclops here. Really bad shield disadvantage for us. Double shield disadvantage. We're going to be able to fire off this Rock Tomb. We have a lot of energy, and we're able to fire off another Rock Tomb, but we're going to go for this double Brick Break. Why? Double Brick Break, this will probably grab a shield, and Hakamo-O actually wins CMP against Crocalor. They go for the sneak, it's fine, and this Brick Break will get them really low, debuff them, now they're double debuffed, so I send in the Doublade. I should have gone for 2 Shadow Claws, but whatever. Doublade, Sacred Sword, picks up the knockout, and that's a win. Leading Dusclops into a Shadow Celio the next game. Now, Shadow Celios, I just found out about this. Into Dusclops, they're always going to throw 7 Powder Snows, because they're always going to predict you're going for that sneak, I'm guessing. I'm not sure why, but every single Shadow Celio lead I see into my Dusclops, they're always going for that 7 Powder Snow. So that's really a thing to remember. In comes a Crocalor. Amazing catch by my opponent there, actually. And they get the sneak. I will throw the Shadow Punch on good timing. They're at the crunch. They're 2 Incinerates away. And I'm going to shield this up. I have a lot of energy. I want to pressurize their final shield or get them really low. So, this Shadow Punch It will connect, and they swap back into the Celio, catching the Shadow Punch, but Shadow Punch, this will deal quite a bit of damage. It is a Shadow Celio, it's not a normal Celio, it's not as bulky. We are not able to get to that Shadow Punch, but we're going to send in Doublade here. Doublade is, as normal, going to perform really well into a Celio. This is probably going to pressurize them into giving up their final shield. This is just a body slam. Trainer should have went for that Surf, because Surf would have knocked out, and I would have honestly thrown that Sacred Sword. But now I can go for that full farm down. I was thinking I could go for the farm down with the Hakamo-O into the Crocalor, but unfortunately not. And Hakamo-O is just fully sacrificed. In the back, it's a Pylo Swine. I'm going for the Sacred Sword bait. Will this be successful? Okay. Opponent puts up the shield. We have the Gyro Ball loaded. Gyro Ball, will it be enough? It is Stab Gyro Ball, and it is, not the hardest hitting move, but it picks up knockout. Crocalor falls to the 2 Shadow Claws. 5 turn versus 4 turn, and that's GG. Okay, really boring matchup here. Dusclops into Dusclops. This is that kind of Mantine versus Mantine kind of lead matchup. We are able to win CMP there. We farmed up to 6. They went first, so here we're gonna wait a turn and see if they catch. I'm gonna go for the second Shadow Punch on the CMP. This gets them really low, and I think I'm gonna shield up here. I want to save more of my Dusclops, and honestly, my Dusclops, being such a low rank, I would have died to that Shadow Punch there. So, Crocalor comes in. I am on my 2 cycle now, so I'm able to go and throw the Shadow Punch on good timing, get to the next Shadow Punch, but I lag, and I don't know, man. That might have just costed me the game, because this actually is a game where I lose. So, Hakamo-O comes in. I should have sent in the Doublade, went for the catch, instead of going for the catch on the Crocalor. On the Doublade. I should have went for the Doublade catch on the Hakamo-O. And this is because not always, but most of the time, Dusclops lead, Crocalor safe swap, it's gonna be a Charger Bug in the back. So, I'm gonna go for this Gyro Ball here. Gyro Ball, I'm hoping to get more damage, maybe get a KO. This is resisted, so it does not get a KO. Hakamo-O is gonna be hit with a move here. Charger Bug, remember, it's running either Discharge, X-Scissor, or Crunch, so all moves are resisted. In the back, Crocalor has too much health and 2 shields, so I'm gonna resign the match. Dusclops into Charge Bug in this next match here, and we are able to get a sneak through, which is absolutely amazing. Discharge, this is going to hurt a bit, but it's not as bad as Crunch. I will throw 1 Hex and go with the Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch will land onto the Charger Bug, and we are able to reach a second one after throwing 1 Hex. I'm going to throw on good timing here. And my opponent's going to overfarm. And so now they're 2 away. And I'm going to shield this up. I don't want to get too low. I'm going to go for 2 Shadow Punch, 2 Hexes, and then a Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch number 3 will pick up the knockout into the Charge Bug. My opponent sends in a Shadow Dusclops. Okay, Shadow Dusclops does perform slightly worse compared to normal Dusclops in this meta. I'm pretty sure they go for that CMP, but they're not going to win that CMP because we are a low-ranked Dusclops, and we used a low-ranked Dusclops for this exact reason, able to reach another Shadow Punch here, and I'm not switching out. I'm just going to let my Dusclops go down because now I can get some farm. Hakamo-O actually, surprisingly, does survive an Ice Punch. Honestly, not that surprisingly. Hakamo-O is bulky, and so is Dusclops, which means that Dusclops' attack is really low. Okay, so my opponent sends in the Shadow Celio. We're able to get that Rock Tomb off. Rock Tomb will guarantee that shield, and here Celio is going to try to knock us out or deal some damage actually with Surf, but we are able to get to the Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword will do quite a bit of damage, yes, and now they're in the red zone. I don't quite get the farm down, but it's a body slam. Yes, it's a body slam, which means I now can go for this Sacred Sword into Shadow Dusclops. Shadow Dusclops is slightly less bulky than, of course, the normal version, and a double resisted Sacred Sword actually did quite a bit more than I expected just there. Yeah, okay. Next match. Dusclops into Shelgon, like before. And we're able to get a sneak. My opponent's trying to CMP their Crunch onto our Ice Punch. So, we know that they have Crunch because we shielded, and they threw Crunch. And so now we're going to go for this Ice Punch. Ice Punch will do quite a bit of damage, or it gets a shield. That's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely fine by me because we have another one loaded. And this Ice Punch will deal a lot of damage. I'm going to shield this up because now I can one shield farm down. Shelgon is already really low. So here we actually get 3 hexes out of that Shelgon, which is absolutely amazing. In comes the Charger Bug. Go for that 1 hex into a Shadow Punch. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get knocked out. This is that second Shadow Punch here. Shadow Punch is going to be no shielded. And are we able to reach a third one? Yes, we are. Third Shadow Punch is going to be shielded. Yep, it's going to be shielded. And I'm not able to get to the fourth one. But that's absolutely fine because we can send in Hakamo-O. Scare away their Charger Bug. In comes a Lampent, and Lampent, oh no. Heat Wave, Energy Ball, you're going to get walled here. So, I'm going to overfarm, go for that Rock Tomb on good timing, a turn before they get to that next move, I'm pretty sure, because Lampent is straight 5 pacing with Ember, which is 2-turn move. Okay, so I'm 1 away from the Brick Break, and this Charger Bug is not surviving that. We're going to easily tank that Egg Scissor. The Hakamo-O, slight bulk, kind of, I mean, not really coming in clutch, but like, it's useful in this matchup, I'm guessing. That's how I'm going to describe it. Okay, anyways, in the next match, Dusclops into a Shadow Dusclops. Again, we're low rank, so we're going to be winning CMP here. Shadow Punch is going to do quite a bit, and the next Shadow Punch will knock out. So, my opponent's Shadow Punch connects, and I honestly should have overfarmed here. Crocalor comes in. Shadow Punch is not going to do much. I'm going to send in the Hakamo-O here. Hakamo-O is going to be able to go for that Sneak. Yes! Sneak gets us extra 12 energy. Disarming Voice is going to be shielded, of course. I'm going to throw 3 Dragon Tails into a Brick Break. I don't know. I think Brick Break could kill here, so I'm just going to go for it. And it doesn't. That's fine, because it gets shielded. Okay, I'm gonna shield this Disarming Voice. Back in comes that nasty Dusclops, and Ice Punch will get us really, really low. I'm gonna go for this Rock Tomb, hope to debuff their Dusclops, but they just let it go, and okay, they just let it go. And I still have a bit of energy left. I think I might be able to get to a move onto the Crocalor, but no, they send in Charger Bug, and I'm able to get to this Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb will not be shielded, and it does huge damage. Okay, I'm going to send in Doublade here. Doublade is, if they're on Crunch, we're in trouble. Okay, it's Discharge. That's absolutely fine. Back in comes Crocalor, and I'm going to go for that farm down with the Dusclops. Go for this Shadow Punch because of the farm from the Crocalor. Shadow Punch will be shielded, but we already have a move. I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball because why not overkill? And we win CMP anyways. So, Gyro Ball is going to pick up the knockout, and that's a game win. Next match. Dusclops into a Fletchinder. Fletchinder does have 6 pacing with Peck, Flame Charge, and Fly, I'm pretty sure. That's its moveset here. Fly is going to connect. I'm going to go for the Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch does not do a lot of damage, but it is a really spammy move, so that's really going to pressure away a lot of shield. This Shadow Punch will connect, and that's going to put them into a Shadow Punch range. It's funny saying that. Shadow Punch puts them into Shadow Punch range. Okay, I overfarm, luckily, because they send in Celio, and I'm going to respond with my Doublade, like every single Celio. And Surf is going to connect. Surf does not pick up the knockout, so I'm going to send the Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword will pick up the knockout against Celio if they decide to no shield. Oh wait, actually no. They tank. They tank that. They hang on by just a bit, but this is just a body slam. So I can get that farm down. I have a Gyro Ball loaded. Back in comes the Fletchender, so I'm gonna full send that Gyro Ball. Because both of my moves are single resist, the Gyro Ball picks up the knockout. In the back, it's a Hakamo-O, and I'm pretty sure this is a game win. Because my Hakamo-O, although we are behind by 3 turns of energy, we have a Dusclops that we can use to reset our debuff. And also Dusclops just has a lot of energy, so honestly we don't even need to use Dusclops as a tool to reset our debuff. We already have the 2 Ice Punches loaded, and my opponent will resign the match. Final game. So, Dusclops into Charjabug. A very normal lead, very often seen lead, common lead. I'm going to go for that sneak like every single other time. And this Shadow Punch is going to connect. Second Shadow Punch is probably going to connect again, because Charjabug users know they can survive. But they are going to be really low where I can potentially farm down. And this Charjabug user actually goes for the move on alignment, which allows me to fully farm down the Charjabug. Yes, losing a lot of health in the process because Volt Switch is a broken move. In comes my opponent's Shadow Dusclops, and honestly that extra farm didn't help me much. But hey, at least I didn't use another shield. I'm able to fire off 2 Shadow Punches here. Now we're even shields, and I have kind of a switch advantage here. Although, both my choices aren't the best. Hakamo-O is not going to be able to hit this Dusclops with Brick Break. So, we're... Okay, Poltergeist. Forgot they can have that. And that, yes, that hurt. Yeah, okay, Poltergeist Shadow Punch is an insane combo, and that's a game loss, unfortunately. Because I no-shielded the Poltergeist, yeah. Okay, so as you can see from these battles, and by the way, I did not cut anything out of these battles here. Yeah, I just recorded them, and so yeah, there's 2 losses. Usually I edit out my losses into the video, but here I included them. And this just shows how broken Hakamo-O is. I'm not the most skilled, but Hakamo-O, man, that thing is insane. Because Brick Break is just so spammy with a guaranteed defense drop and quite a bit of, not a lot, but like decent fast move pressure, and this thing just becomes a monster. Rock Tombs as well, getting that debuff, and I think in one game that I did not record, I played another time, I actually debuffed a Crocolore, and that allowed me to survive Disarming Voice and then win the game, I think. To summarize, I think Hakamo-O is an amazing Pokemon in this limited meta, and definitely try it out. It's gonna win you a lot of games, more than you'd expect, and that's it for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye!